block you at all? You okay? Is everybody ready? So we'll get started. Good. Late in the evening on Tuesday, February 15th, law enforcement was dispatched to the 300 block of Vine Street, located in South Lebanon Township, Lebanon County. Police were sent there for a report of multiple gunshots fired. Law enforcement immediately responded. When they arrived, they found a 13-year-old male victim, Jason Rivera, with multiple gunshot wounds. Police attempted life-saving measures. The child was taken via ambulance to the Hershey Medical Center. Unfortunately for that little boy, for his family, and for this community, those gunshot wounds proved fatal. The child passed away late Tuesday evening. My name is Pierre Hesgraf. I'm the District Attorney here in Lebanon County. Standing with me today is Chief Ken Zimmerman of the South Lebanon Township Police Department, Chief John Hess of our Lebanon County Detective Bureau, and some other members of our Detective Bureau. The investigation into Jason's murder is being jointly conducted by our office and our detectives and the South Lebanon Township Police. Now, also standing before you today, with us today, are members of the child's family. And when we talked about doing a press conference, I spoke with his grandmother. I spoke with his grandmother, his mother, and his loved ones about doing this as a joint united message. Jason was a 13-year-old boy when he was murdered. On the easel in front of you is a photograph of Jason provided by his mother. And we did that to show you and to show this community what a true victim of gun violence looks like. This is a 13-year-old boy gunned down. He was 13 years old, and he was in 7th grade at Lebanon Middle School. His family and friends called him Jay for short. And I asked his family, tell me some things about your child. Tell me some things about your loved one. And they related that Jason loved and played basketball and football. He participated in last year's Sweep the Streets event. Jason loved to draw. He was obsessed with video games. He played Fortnite incessantly. And when I asked his family to describe the person their child was, who this little boy was to them, they described Jason as loving, kind, sweet, and respectful. That child was a little boy who loved to laugh and joke with his family. He was a good kid. Like many teenage boys, Jason was obsessed with sneakers. And when I asked his mother what his favorite shoe was, he always wanted a new pair of Air Jordans. And when I talked to his aunt about Jason's future and things that they had discussed, she brought up about how Jason recently mentioned he was so excited to turn 16 and learn how to drive. And unfortunately, due to this act of brutal, senseless gun violence, that is one dream that child and his family will never see come to fruition. We asked his family if they wanted to speak today, to talk to you about their child. And we have a message about this case, about gun violence, about the community involvement we're hoping to see as a result of this. But first, if his family would like to talk, we're going to give them that opportunity. First, we have Jason's aunt.
I was Jason's aunt. He was like my child. I loved him. This is not okay. Like, he wasn't supposed to go like this. Not in this way. He didn't deserve it at all. He was full of life. Like, he would make anybody stay better. My bond with that kid was incredible. He was mine, and they took our baby from us, and this is not okay. He had so much life and a bright future. He was smart, funny, outgoing. He liked to talk about everything. I'm never gonna have him again.
Next, we have Jason's grandmother.
I am here to talk on behalf of our family. As you know, Jason was 13 years old and had his own life in front of him. At the time this happened, there was no family members there to let him know that everything would be okay, because it wasn't okay. His mother would never be able to hold him again and tell him that she loved him. His father would never be able to hear from him a call letting him know that he wanted to let him know. His father would say that if there was anything that he wanted to talk about, that he would be there, that all he had to do was pick up a phone and call him. Jason will never be able to escort his sister to her sweet 16, be around his other siblings that loved him. There's never words to say how we feel, but I do want to say that if anyone knows anything, please, whatever little thing you think it might be that is not important, please come out and say something. We want all other mothers and fathers and family members out there to know that this could happen to their children, and we would never want this to happen. We need all this gun violence to stop. Jason was around me last Saturday. It was my oldest granddaughter's baby shower. And before he left my house on Sunday to go watch the Super Bowl, he said, "Grandma, I love you, and I'll see you next weekend." We'll never know if he would have been a professional player. We want to let all his friends and his team members from school and his teachers that showed up for the vigil yesterday, to let them know that we are so grateful and thankful for them being there with us. And Jason, we love you. That's it. I can't say anything else right now.
As law enforcement, we stand here today united with Jason's family, with that child's family. The world we live in is experiencing a rash of senseless, brutal, violent crime, much of it being gun violence. You turn on your TV, you open your newspaper, and on an almost daily basis, you see shootings, you see killings across the country. And we are here today with Jason's family with one message: enough is enough. We are not Philadelphia, we are not Chicago, we are united, and we will not tolerate this in our community. And to echo what his family told you, this was a child with a bright future. It was a little boy gunned down in a parking lot for no reason. It's a mother who has to bury her son. It's a grandmother who has to try to heal this family's hurt and this family's pain. And all too often in these investigations, we hear a response from potential witnesses where they don't want to talk to police, they don't want to cooperate. When you look at this little boy, this 13-year-old boy, every person in this community should be on the same page. This child, no child deserves to suffer in the way this child did. This family deserves justice. This family deserves to face Jason's killer and for that killer to be held accountable. Enough is enough. And when I talked to Jason's mother yesterday, and we discussed this press conference, the point of it was to show community involvement and this united front between law enforcement and this child's family. Because we do want people to come forward. Our investigation started Tuesday night. It will not stop until we find Jason's killer. But we need your help. They need your help. Jason's mother, his grandmother, his family needs your help. And if you know something, you saw something, you heard something, we are asking you contact the South Lebanon Township Police Department, the Office of the District Attorney, the Lebanon County Detective Bureau, or even go online and leave us a tip on our Crime Watch. And you can find that on the District Attorney's homepage, on the county's homepage. The family wants community involvement. They want witnesses to come forward. They are begging for justice for their child. And when you look at that little boy, any person that looks at that little boy, we should all be on the same page with this. When I spoke to Jason's mother last night, there are certain details about the manner in which he died that she asked me not to discuss today. Jason is survived by 3 siblings. He has young family members. They don't want those children to turn on social media, to turn on the television, and learn the brutal details in the way this child died. So because of that, we're not going to go any farther into what we know thus far. We will say this was not a random act. This was not a random act of violence. And again, this was against a 13-year-old boy. That's our victim. It is time now for this community to come forward, to come together in support of the family. They did want to thank everyone that attended last night's vigil, especially his teachers, his teammates, and his friends. We are not going to take questions at this time out of respect for the family, out of respect for their wishes. But again, look at that photograph. A 13-year-old boy, multiple gunshot wounds, dead. This community lost a child Tuesday night. This family lost a child Tuesday night. And I can promise you the law enforcement that you're looking at will work diligently every day until we bring this family some justice. I thank you very much for your time.